Hey guys, welcome to JJ's Flexx Corner, where confidence, leadership, and powerful conversations all come together. Today I'm sitting down with someone who is truly creative behind the camera. He is a filmmaker, a creative director, and does so much and helps bring creative visions to life. So please tell everyone who you are.
Hey y'all, I'm Lawrence. Lawrence Murray. What's good?
What's up?
How you doing, JJ?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm alive. I can't complain. You know, I'm out here.
So what do you do?
Okay, I'm a creative. There's so many mediums that I tap into, but I started as a graphic designer, got into web design. When I was in middle school, I was around your age. You're like 14, 15, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was about 13, 14, I started getting into graphic design. And then I eventually evolved into like making websites. Then that got me into photography.
Oh my goodness, you just do it all.
Yeah, that got me into then I went to film school, started making music videos. And now I'm in a space to where I'm like DJing and doing fashion design. So I'm just an overall creative at the end of the day. But yeah.
So how did all of that start? Like, were you always creative? How did you become this creative person?
Good question. I've always been creative. So I have a twin brother. My brother was the athletic one. I was always the artistic one. Always very curious about, life. Always very curious about what was happening in the magazines and music and stuff like that. But I would like to link that to also just watching movies and enjoying cartoons and music as a kid. And I just immersed myself in that. And so when I got my first laptop, in my free time, where most guys my age would play video games, and I did enjoy video games, but I loved like making stuff. I loved figuring out codes. So during the time when I was learning MySpace and social media, and at that time, I would start making my own MySpace layouts. Do you know what MySpace is?
No.
Okay, so back in the olden days, there was this social media site called MySpace where you were able to have your friends on your page. You could put music on your page. You could customize your own page.
Like Instagram kind of?
Kind of. Like it had a lot of the same functionalities, but like when you go, when you go to your profile on Instagram, it just shows you pictures. It shows you your following count and all that stuff like that. It was a bit more immersive. You could have blogs. You can write a whole essay about what you were feeling that day and just about you, but you could also have your top 8 where you could put your friends up there. And so it wasn't like a standard look, whereas everybody's Instagram pages or everybody's TikTok has the grid. It was a lot of different things you could do with the actual site. So I started making my own and started customizing my own. And then my friends would see it. They were like, hey, could you do that for me? And so I started running like a little business when I was younger.
Doing hustler.
Yeah, doing MySpace layouts, which then turned into me doing websites. Yeah, so all that I started when I was like 12, 13 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you further your career after high school? Like, where did you go? What did you do? Did you go to SCAD?
You already know. So before I even get into going to SCAD, I did a program. They have like this summer program for middle schoolers. And as I was getting ready to go into the 9th grade, that summer I did a program called the Summer Swarm. And it's a program where you get to stay at SCAD for like a week or two.
Whoa. That's cool.
Like you're living on campus and
in middle school?
Yeah, like this is for like a week during the summer. Yeah. And ever since then, I knew I wanted to go to SCAD. That was the only school I applied for. I don't know why I did that. In terms of just like, I could have had more options, but I was very headstrong because I knew that it was an art school, and I didn't go to art school, but I also watched shows like Victorious.
Ooh, that's my stuff.
Yeah.
Victorious, I love Victorious.
And before Victorious, there was a show called Taino on Nickelodeon that it was about a magnet school, and I always wanted to go to one. They had this school called Savannah Arts that I could have gotten into, but I just felt like, because it was like a 30, 45-minute commute, I didn't know if my parents was going to be up for it.
Wait, Savannah and SCAD, like, are they like the same thing? Because I know they have 2 locations.
Yeah, SCAD has a few locations. SCAD has a campus in Savannah. That's the campus I went to. They have a campus out here in Atlanta. They had a campus in Hong Kong, and they do have a campus in France. Yeah, so I Yeah, ever since the 8th grade, I knew I wanted to go to SCAD. So my whole high school career, I was preparing for that. So by the time I got to high school, I kind of graduated from doing MySpace layouts. Like I said, I started doing my website design. I got into photography. I started doing more work in graphic design. I got my first job. All of this I was doing on my own as a freelancer. I had my own clients, but then I got my first job as a graphic designer at a print shop. So I was the in-house designer there while being a high school student and having my own clients. So I'm preparing my portfolio in the midst of all of this. So by the time I got to 11th, 12th grade, I applied for SCAD, got in, of course, got some scholarships, and that's when, that's when I got to SCAD. And originally I went there to study graphic design, but meeting different people who do different things. Again, like the whole art school experience was something that I always wanted because of the community and because there's just like different creative energies, different creative people. That was the first time I was in an environment around so many creative people, whereas when I was in high school and when I was in middle school, I was pretty much, the only person.
So you didn't go to an art school?
No, I didn't go to an art school in high school, but they did have like a graphic design class. They did have a program for people who wanted to do the morning announcements. And I also took a pottery class too. They had like a drawing, like, as we were talking about specials, they had like little things like that, but I was more so on the graphic design side of things. So built my portfolio, went to SCAD, met a lot of different people, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to just do graphic design. So then I started looking into film, and then I was like, oh, I like it here. And so ever since then I started making my own projects, and
we're here.
It's a bit more it's a bit more to that story, but like that's the beginning, that's the genesis.
So did you have like minors at SCAD? Like, could you pick a minor, or you had to only have one major?
Yeah, I'm a Libra. I can be very indecisive.
That's so real.
So I did have a major and I did have a minor. So like I said, I originally went to SCAD to study graphic design. I was like, after the first class I took, I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. And then I thought motion graphics, motion media design would be a bit more progressive. And really what that is like, the graphics that you see on commercials, in movie trailers, where it's like animated, but it's text.
I get what you're saying.
Like lyric videos, like that's really what motion design is, motion media design. And so I was like, oh, that's better than just creating something on Photoshop and it being static. So I thought that was a bit more interesting. And then I also took a film class. And once I took the film class, I was like, let me major in motion media design and minor in film. And so by the time I went to, because I told you I studied at Hong Kong as well too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I studied abroad there. When I went to Hong Kong.
How was that?
No, it was a lot of fun. Initially, when I got to SCAD, I was like, I'm going to do all 4 years in Savannah. And then somebody made me mad. I was like, you know what? I want to leave the country. So I signed up to study abroad. And when I got there, I was taking a photography class. I was taking a motion media class, in an art history class, and maybe something else too. But I think those were the main three. And for the motion media class, it's very tedious to like put projects together because you have to work in keyframes and like animate stuff. And I didn't want to be behind a computer my whole time while I'm in a different country. So I kind of slacked off there. But I got everything I needed done. But what gave me the freedom to actually explore Hong Kong and the culture there was my photography class. When I got back to the States, I was like,
what made you come back?
I mean, because you only get 3 months out there. I mean, you don't just live there forever, So I came back and I was like, I don't want to just be behind a computer for the rest of my life. Like, it's good to have that as an option, but that's when I decided to major in film and just have my minor in motion media. And luckily, that was the last class that I would have been eligible for. If I would have taken another class in motion media, then I would have had to commit to that being my major instead of film. So everything happens the way it's supposed to happen at the time it's supposed to happen. So
everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
So what would you say out of all of the different things that you do is like your favorite? Are you like, this is my stuff?
That's a really loaded question because I love everything for different reasons. Because I told you I do a lot of different things. I feel like the root of it, I love music. So I've been getting more into DJing and working on my music projects.
Have you always been DJing?
No, not always. I've always loved music, but I just recently started DJing within like the last year, just practicing and, just making content and stuff. And so now I'm getting to a space where I'm actually like sharing my content, sharing my mixes and stuff. So that's pretty fun. I wouldn't say it's the main thing. I love filmmaking. I love the whole process of ideating something, writing something, and bringing it to life and collaborating with different people that help bring that vision to life. So I love film. And photography is great too. I love connecting with people. I love creating beautiful imagery and just being creative with like characters and collaborating with the makeup artists and the fashion stylists to
bring it together.
Yeah, to bring it together. I just love people. I love working with people. So that's why it's hard for me to pick.
Yeah.
But I do also love design too, because it's just like, that is all me. That is all of my ideas and how I see things too. I told you I'm a Libra. I'm indecisive. I can be indecisive. So it's just hard for me to
I'm
be
indecisive.
like, one thing is that one. But if I were to have to pick,
it's hard.
If I were to have to pick, I would say photography, because it's less of a heavy lift than filmmaking, but it still has that collaborative piece to where I can still work with people and connect with people and create something that stands by itself.
So what does being a creative or like having creativity mean to you? Like, I know you said that you're a creative. What does that mean to you?
Wow. I'm gonna try to explain this the best way I can. I feel like there's this space in the spiritual realm where ideas just flow. And as humans, the people who are more creative can kind of tap in, whether they are conscious of that or not. And then you have the responsibility to just like bring something to life. And so I feel like as a creative, it really is just about taking something that doesn't exist, or it does exist in a way, right? But like bringing that into physical form.
So like you see things differently.
Yeah, whether that's like an idea, a concept, it's just bringing it out into the physical realm.
So how do you come up with these different ideas or such creative ideas? Like, do you sometimes like have blocks or like, oh my goodness, I can't think of anything? Or like, does it all just flow? Or like, do you have a certain space that you got to get into? Like, how does that work?
So I do take a bunch of notes on my phone, whether it's voice memos, whether it's just writing in my notes app. I do have like a lot of different ideas all the time. And so, especially if I'm in the process of working on something that's really consuming, whether that's like a music video project or just working on an account that requires a lot of my time, it's just best for me to write my ideas out, and then I'll revisit them whenever I feel like I want to create something. Some stuff I do have to move a bit quicker on, especially if I'm able to have the resources to be able to bring it to life a lot quicker. But for the most part, I write my ideas out. I revisit them when I'm led, and then I go from there. That's the beginning of the process. It's just picking the idea, knowing what to commit to, and then depending on what it is, finding the right people, finding the resources to help bring it together.
So do you have someone that helps you do all of this, or you do this by yourself?
So it also depends on what it is. Like for design projects, that's all me. For photography, that can be all me, but I do like to work with different people. But when it comes to films, my best friend is the producer, who helps me with the budgets, who helps me get locations, who helps me organize the schedule and the casting and everything. So there are people in place to help me for sure. But yeah, when it comes to designing, when it comes to the stuff that I can do more so on my desk and not my laptop, that is pretty much 90 to 100% me.
So what do you feel like is your favorite part of production? Or like, what's your favorite part? Like when it all comes together, like the process of doing it.
Yeah, I will say, and you've been on sets, after that first shot, after that first take, is especially with all the planning that goes into it all, that is my favorite part, because it's like, okay, everything is flowing now.
Yeah.
Once you get past that first take,
you can see everything.
You can see, yeah. And even just getting up to that point when everybody's just working and this person is in hair and makeup, and seeing that character come to life, and you know the set is being lit and everything is just becoming what we've planned days, weeks, sometimes months for. Seeing it all come together is really rewarding. Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that you have faced along the way? Was it always easy?
It was never easy. It was never easy. Some things do flow, but the challenges I faced, man, especially in film production, whether it's losing a location and having to figure out how to improvise to instill,
like, quickly.
Yes, and still get your point across of the story that you're trying to tell. Those things happen all the time. Maybe the person that you want casted in a certain role is not available, so you have to pivot. Like, those are the things that I've learned to adapt to. But also, I will say I worked a little bit in advertising. And that can be very corporate. And, you know, what I mean about corporate is very like buttoned up and very, what's the word, political. You know, there's a structure in agencies and marketing firms that I don't have just working by myself. In terms of, okay, this person is in this position and they've been in that position for 10 years, and you coming in fresh in the game. You know, different people look at that differently. There's power dynamics. Navigating those things were a challenge for me, but you live, you learn, you grow.
So what are some of the benefits that you have? Do you work for yourself?
I do work for myself, but I also work alongside other people as well too.
So what do you prefer? Like, what are some of the benefits you have working for yourself?
Okay, yeah, I'll be honest about the pros and cons. The benefits of working for myself is that I can work from anywhere. I can work from anywhere. I can work from home. I can work at a coffee shop. I can work in New Mexico. I can work from anywhere. That's the pro. Working for another company or an agency or a firm, the pros there is the structure, in terms of, you know, you're gonna get paid every 2 weeks. You got health benefits, you got health insurance, you know. Yeah, you get paid every 2 weeks. You know, sometimes you get unlimited PTO. That, like, the structure of that is the pro for working for someone else. But there's pros and cons to everything, and I enjoy both of them at the time I'm supposed to enjoy them.
So what would you say to younger Lawrence at the time where you were probably like, how did you feel back then, and what advice would you give to yourself then?
I knew exactly who I was, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I've been blessed to be able to do a lot of the things that I set out to do when I was younger. If I would say anything, is to, like, don't let anybody's perception of you be your perception of yourself, and to enjoy what you do and not listen to anything anybody has to say that isn't constructive to your development. And we're also saying that definitely take heed to all of the constructive criticism from your mentors, and really lock in. So that's what I would say is remain teachable and remain creative.
Always something to learn.
Yeah, there's always something to learn from anybody, from people younger than you, from people older than you, from people who walk different life paths. And you also have something to contribute to their life as well too.
So what are some of the, growing up, or like just in general, who are some of the people that you look up to or inspire you?
Myself. No, I'm kidding. Well, I would say my dad for sure. My dad. There's Will Smith. I love Fresh Prince when I was coming up. that was a really good show, and just all of Will Smith's movies and everything he's been able to do is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of Ryan Leslie. He's a music producer. Definitely before your time. He's really dope. I don't know if you heard the song. I don't know. I may be aging myself. You know who Cassie is? Dang. Okay.
The singer?
Yeah, the singer.
I've heard of the name. Haven't heard one of her songs.
Okay, so he did a song called Me and You. He's like a really dope producer. Pharrell, you know who Pharrell? You gotta know who Pharrell is.
I've heard of Pharrell. I know. Wait,
we need your parents to really teach you the greats.
Did he do a song like on the stairs in Brazil with Rio and
with Snoop Dogg? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I know exactly what music. Yeah, that's Pharrell. I love his production. I love everything he's been able to do because he's recently pivoted into being a creative director at Louis Vuitton. But he's always been really creative in terms of how he expresses himself, whether it's through production, being the artist, his fashion ventures. He's someone who I always looked up to. I love Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is so dope to me.
Yeah.
People don't give him enough credit because he used to work for Nickelodeon, and then he was on a show called All That. You've heard of All That, have you?
I've heard of it.
Okay, there was a show in the 90s on Nickelodeon called All That he was on, and then he got his own show on Nickelodeon called The Nick Cannon Show. And then, he went on to do movies and stuff like that. Yeah, but like then shortly after that, like a few years after that, he became an executive at Teen Nick. And so I just always thought that was really cool to be able to like have that trajectory of growth. And he's still doing his thing, so I always looked up to him when I was coming up. There's a lot of other people, but I think those are the main ones.
So what is your favorite part about doing what you do? What do you enjoy the most?
I love having an idea and it starting off as just like a little thought.
Yeah.
And then it just becoming
flourish.
Yeah, really big. I love watering that seed and the process that it takes to see that through. That's my favorite part. Just the process. The journey is the destination.
The journey is the destination. And I could just tell that you just really love what you do and love talking about it. Like, ooh, I just love that.
Thanks.
So what advice would you give to someone that would want to be, what would you say, maybe just get in your field or get in the industry?
Obviously, do your research. There's a thing of being naturally inclined, naturally creative, and naturally gifted. Definitely put your 10,000 hours in and work on your skill for sure. But beyond that, definitely find some structure in terms of having. I think one of the things that I loved as a kid was that I was able to have the structure of having a job, but also having my own clients on the side too. And even when I got to college, I did work study at the film studio while I was still in school, but also, doing my clients on the side as well too. So I think having a job to fund your creative ventures would be something that I would continue to push to people who want to be creative, because there's only so much you can do on your own, especially if you're working in film. At some point, you're gonna have to invest your own money, because you can run on favors, you can run on, I know this person, I have this, but as you want to continue to see your vision grow, you want to be able to properly put your money where your mouth is. Yes. So that would be my advice.
So what does a typical day look like for you? Do you make your own schedule? Do you have a schedule? You wake up at any time and just go with the day flow?
Yeah, no, I definitely have a schedule. I wake up around 5:36. Yeah, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Get my breakfast in, go to the gym, spend a couple of hours to myself. In the mornings is my me time. I've been really strict about that. And then around 9:30, 10, I'll answer emails and I'll get into the workflow of the day. Either I'm working at a coffee shop, working at home, I start my projects there. And then later on in the day, I have different things that I'm into, different projects I'm working on that require different time blocks. So that's how the day starts. That's how it ends up. But every day doesn't look the same at the same time too. It also depends on what I'm doing, what projects I'm working on, because like I said, I do a lot of things and I try to block my time to be able to properly tend to everything that I need to tend to. Some days I'm working at the desk, some days I'm on set, and yeah, a lot of days don't look like each other.
It's good you get to have a mixture.
Yeah.
If you could shoot any creative project with any celebrity or any person, who would it be?
Be Beyonce. Yes, because I've always loved Beyonce, always loved Destiny's Child, and she just works at a high level of excellence, and I love everything she does, and I would just love to work with her just to be able to have gone through that process with her, because I hear she's very particular, and I feel like just working with her would just like
so cool.
It would be so cool, and I feel like it would whip me in. I feel like I'm already whipped into shape, but I feel like just the way that she does things and the level that she does things, it would just only elevate what's already happening over here, you know?
Yeah.
Love Beyonce down.
So if Beyonce was to call you right now, it was like, I need you to go on a plane and come to wherever by tomorrow. Do you already have an idea, some ideas like?
Listen, I got a whole mood board ready for Act 3. All she gotta do is just call. Come on, I'm ready.
So what are some of the different projects that you have worked on?
Okay, I should tell you about my most recent project that we just put out. So it's called The Rise and Fall of Diva Girl. It's a short film. It's actually a mockumentary. Do you know what a mockumentary is?
A documentary?
It's a documentary, but it's fake. And what I mean by that is like it's about The Rise and Fall of Diva Girl is about the rise and fall of a fictional girl group called Diva Girl. And so it's a spoof on a lot of the iconic girl groups that I grew up on. Destiny's Child, TLC, 3LW, the Cheetah Girls. It's a bunch of different references in there. And it's something that I directed. I co-wrote with Kiki Palmer. She also executive produces. And we just put that out back in the end of December. But that has been a project we've been working on since 2024. And it's gotten a good response. And people like it. So whenever you get free time, check it out. It's on Key TV, which is on YouTube. And I think you'll enjoy the music, and you'll probably laugh at it.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll get all the references because this is a little bit before your time, but I think you will enjoy it just as much still.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out, and make sure y'all check it out too.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What's your favorite girl group?
I like the Cheetah Girls.
Okay, I like the Cheetah
and
Girls.
Destiny's Child. I like Destiny's Child. My auntie got me listening to that when I was little.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's something I'm working on. I have ideas about, I don't even know if I should say that, but I mean, if we did being that I did an R&B girl group, I'm thinking about ideas about an R&B boy band. So we'll see. But outside of that, always working on photography projects, always working on design projects, but currently I'm working on packaging my next film project. So there's only so much I can say about that, but I'm excited about it nonetheless. But even outside of that, the thing that keeps me creative in between all of those projects is my DJing and mixing and learning on that side. So
Okay, so we got a little mini game segment. Are you ready?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. Okay, photography or filmmaking?
Film.
Really? Why?
I mean, I just had to pick. Like, I say film because it's so many different moving pieces. It's so many different people. I love the collaborative energy and the effort. It feels like camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lights or natural light?
Natural lights.
Okay. Music video or short film?
Short film.
Really?
Yes, I love telling a story. We could have music in the short film.
Yeah, we could do that. Editing or shooting?
Shooting.
It's more.
I told you I like being on the field, like being outside.
Yes, outside. Black and white or color?
Color. I mean, why choose black or white?
Yeah, that's boring.
It can't be classic. It can be, but I love colors.
Studio shoot or on location?
Depending on the day, but I'm gonna say, I know I just said I like being outside, but in studio. More controlled.
Yeah.
I know what a crafty lunch is. I know,
Portraits or landscapes?
landscapes.
Drone shots or handheld shots?
Drones.
That's so cool. I love drones.
Drones are pretty cool. I love them.
Wide angle or close up?
Wide.
Ooh, why you say that?
So much more to see.
You're right. Big production crew or small creative team?
I'm going to say big, because big also just means more people get paid. That means more people got, the budget's big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bigger than a small one. But I do love intimate small collaborations as well too. I can't really choose, but being that I was forced to give a choice, I'm gonna say big.
Today, I am honored to present to you the Flexx Award for your creativity. You are out here doing your thing, and I just love it.
Oh, thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. On JJ's Flexx Corner, we like to honor people doing amazing things, and you are out here doing your thing. So today we have an award for you, and thank you so much for everything you do.
Y'all got an award for me.
Yes, we got an award.
What?
Uh-oh. We have to get the sirens.
Oh,
Woo,
thank you.
woo, woo, woo. Raise the
Do
roof.
I open it?
Ooh, yes, show the camera.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, this is nice. Come on.
Okay, Creative Flexx Award. I know that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay, I love this. This is so nice. Thank y'all.
Of course. Okay. Ooh, that's
Shout out
so
to you,
cool.
JJ, because you're doing your thing too.
Thank you.
I wish my mama. Shout out to my mama. My mama definitely did. My parents, both my mom and my dad, in my community, definitely got behind me. And I was just a kid who was making MySpace layouts. Nobody was really doing that at the time, but they saw something in me, and you're blessed to be able to have that, to be able to have the opportunity to do this at the age that you're doing it. If my parents gave me my own show, and I said, hey, I'm gonna be on TV, they was like, hey, we got it, But they did what they could for me. So to be able, for you to be able to do this is a blessing for real. So shout out to you and your mom.
Thank y'all. Shout out to my mom.
Find me on all platforms. Lawrence S. Murray, LAWRENCE SMURRAY. I forgot to spell my own name. But yeah, Lawrence S. Murray, lawrencesmurray.com, where you can see my projects and everything I got going on. And yeah, be on the lookout for more DJ mixes, more music coming down the line, and more projects.
And thank you guys for watching. And always remember, be bold, be heard, and always
Flex you!
clock it. I know that's right. Woo, woo, woo.
Thank you so much for having me.